Clara worked the late shift at Murphy's Diner, a place that always smelled like burnt coffee and old secrets. One rainy night, a quiet man at booth 7 left her a lottery ticket as a tip. "You'll need it more than I do," he said, his voice dry as dust. She laughed it off until the next morning when she saw the numbers on TV. $38 million. Clara screamed so loud she scared the neighbor's cat off her porch. But the dream soured fast. Her co-worker, Denise, claimed the ticket was hers, that Clara had stolen it from the shared tip jar. The lawsuit hit before Clara could even cash the check. Reporters swarmed the diner. The quiet man from booth 7 never came back. Then her husband, Rick, laid off, angry and drunk most nights, started acting strange. One evening, he told her they were going for a drive. She woke up bound in their cabin in the woods, duct tape tight around her wrists. He ranted about the money, about how they could have had it all. When he turned his back to grab the phone, she spotted his gun on the table. Her fingers trembled as she grabbed it. One shot sent her chest. He fell, eyes wide, mouthing her name. When the police arrived, she was shivering, whispering over and over, "It was my ticket." Later, in the evidence locker, that same ticket lay under a flickering light, still damp and faintly smeared with something that looked like blood. They never found the man from booth 7.
The Red Tree. In the fog-soaked outskirts of Warfield Hollow, a quiet village an hour from London, stood an ancient oak known only as the Red Tree. It rose from the earth like a bleeding monument, its bark flushed deep crimson, and from the crevices seeped a dark, sticky sap that smelled of rotten iron. For centuries, villagers whispered that the colour came not from the soil, but from the blood of men who had swung from its limbs. The Warfield family had owned the land for generations, though none spoke of its history. The old records said their ancestor, Magistrate Elias Warfield, had overseen hangings there during the 1600s. Dozens of accused witches, thieves and deserters met their end beneath those gnarled branches. When the rope snapped, it was said the tree drank deeply. By the 1900s, the Warfields had become reclusive, their estate crumbling, the fields untended. Locals claimed a curse shadowed them, children born sickly, livestock dying without cause, and that smell of decay always wafting from the wood. Then came 1973, when Arthur Warfield returned from London to sell the property. The villagers warned him, but he laughed. "It's just a tree," he said, striking it with his cane. Red sap oozed where the bark split, thick and warm. That night the hounds howled until dawn. Days later they found him hanging from the lowest branch, no rope, no mark of struggle. Only his face frozen in terror and his eyes a milky red. The coroner said his lungs were full of liquid, thick as blood. The estate passed to his niece, Clara Warfield, who tried to burn the tree in 1985. It did not burn. The flames hissed, sputtered and died as if choked by unseen hands. When morning came, the red tree stood untouched, but every flower within 10 paces had withered black. Now, decades later, no one enters the Warfield grounds. The house stands empty, the wind whispering through its broken windows. But on still nights, travellers say they hear creaking, like rope under weight, and smell that foul sweetness drifting through the air. And if you're brave or foolish, enough to walk close, you'll see the sap dripping slow and steady, pooling at the roots like tears. Some swear if you listen closely you can hear voices in the bark, begging or laughing,